Hello and welcome to the Strong, Healthy, Happy podcast. I am your host, Debra. Welcome back. Thank you for listening. Today, I'm going to be talking about challenging your Christmas food shopping behaviours. I think I'm going to call this podcast episode Unwrapping Your Christmas Food Habits, a Festive Rethink. I thought that was very creative, and this podcast has come about after a conversation with a few of my clients, and I thought it would be a great podcast subject and something to think about that's going to get you really thinking about your shopping behaviors ahead of Christmas. Now, I'm not talking about gift shopping. I'm talking about your home and all the food that you're going to buy to take home and put into your house, whether it be for gifts, whether it be for you hosting meals, whatever it might be. I'm going to be challenging your thoughts and behaviors. But before I crack on into this podcast episode, don't forget to follow the show, give me a 5-star review. Obviously, if you've enjoyed it, which I know many of you are. It goes a really long way in bringing my podcast to the attention of other women who have got weight loss and health goals, and it brings the podcast up into their searches. So please do like, subscribe, follow, share, and outside of the podcast, don't forget to share me in your WhatsApp groups, your friendship groups, and of course to your social media. Now, I think you're going to find this podcast episode really helpful, and I won't lie to you. I've got so many thoughts going round and round in my head about what I want to talk about, but I really want to make sure that I don't waffle on and that I get to the point and help you in challenging your food shopping behaviors. I am going to do a few more podcast related topics to support you in the lead up to Christmas, over Christmas, and after Christmas. But in relation to this podcast episode, like I say, it's come about from chatting to some of my clients, which I do over the years, every year as part of my coaching, and just speaking to women and friends in general. Now, one of my clients talked to me recently about her family upbringing, her traditions, and the way that she would always do things at Christmas. And now, as an adult, these traditions and behaviors have followed her into her adulthood, into her family life. But now, since she's begun coaching and feeling a lot better in terms of her health and her mental well-being, and finally losing weight, having struggled to lose weight for so many years, she's now challenging and questioning whether she actually wants to hold up any of these traditions, whether they're actually serving her, and whether she now wants to keep doing these traditions and methods and way of doing things in the lead up to Christmas with her own family, and whether they feel right for her. Now, often we just go about doing things every year because that's just how we do things, and we don't often consider, or it's not even about setting the time aside. It's like the thought doesn't ever enter your mind about actually, has what you've been doing something that you actually want to continue doing? Does it make you feel good? Is it serving you any longer? And are the people that you're buying all this food for actually benefiting from it? Is it something that they want? Or do you just keep doing it every year because that's what you do? So this podcast is really based around challenging these thoughts. So whether it's the lead up to Christmas, which is obviously the reason for me recording this podcast, I want you to know that you can apply the tips and hints and questions that I'm going to get you to ask yourself at any time of the year. It doesn't just have to be Christmas. It could be a weekend away. It could be a meal out. It could be you hosting a dinner party. It could be anything that questions the way that you've been doing things when it comes to purchasing food and the type of preparations and planning and meal that you're creating. So you'll be able to take what you learn from this podcast in relation to Christmas specifically at the moment, but at any time, at any social occasion. I will be asking you lots of reflective questions, and whether you're listening to this on a walk or just driving along, obviously safety first, pay attention if you are driving. But these questions and these reflective questions are going to get you to challenge your past behaviors and beliefs, and it may instigate you making some small changes. So the first question I want to ask you is, what is driving your Christmas food shopping behaviors? And I want you to think about previous years and what motivated you to buy the food that you've been buying in the quantity that you've been buying. What is it that in November, which is the time that I'm recording this podcast, perhaps you're stockpiling certain foods or treats or chocolate or Christmas related foods? What is driving you into buying these things and your general shopping behaviors? I want you to cast your mind back to last year. So rewind your mind, think, cast your mind back to last year. Do you remember saying to yourself at any point last year, whether it be in the lead up to Christmas, during Christmas, or after Christmas, do you remember saying to yourself, I'm not going to repeat this again next year? Because if you do, remember the circumstances, maybe the specificity about why you said that. Did you have a lot of food waste? Was it you eating all the leftover food, the cakes, the biscuits, the chocolates, because no one else wanted them? Like, what was it for you? Think about it. Because if you want this year to feel different, for you to feel different, it's really important to reflect and remember what you would change. And that's the beauty of reflection, is that you are able to learn from what you did that perhaps didn't sit well with you. So really think about that. Let's talk about tradition, because tradition does play a big part into a lot of our Christmas behaviors and the way that we do things we've done as children ourselves, and those childhood influences stay with us as we become adults, parents, family members, spouses, with our own family in whatever capacity. Tradition helps you keep memories alive and also remember the people that set those traditions up. And also because traditionally, it's what you've always done. Now, there are some traditions you're absolutely not going to want to drop or lose, and that's fine. But it's still worth thinking about certain traditions that you've always done and questioning whether they actually serve you and whether it's something you want to continue doing. Are there ones that maybe it's time to let go of, and others that you absolutely are never going to let go of? And do the traditions that you want to keep alive, the ones that are important, are they going to continue making you feel good as well as be appreciated by everybody else that you're doing them for? So just think about those traditions that you are upholding, and maybe there are some you can let go and some that you're absolutely never going to let go of, and that is absolutely fine. The other area that can drive our shopping, Christmas food shopping behaviors, is marketing. Now, marketing's come on a really long way. We are exposed to marketing, whether it be from social media, TV, newspapers, adverts, scrolling on websites, things pop up on our feed. We can be thinking about something, and all of a sudden it pops up on our Facebook feed or whatever your social media platform you're looking at. So we see a lot of we see a lot of advertising, we see a lot of marketing, and marketing has come on such a long way. And like I say, you think it, and all of a sudden it's there in front of you. Makes it really difficult. We are very, very tempted. We are subliminally, whatever the word is, you know what I mean, being marketed to all of the time. We go into a supermarket, the visual displays look incredible, the colors, the shininess, the temptation, sometimes the smell. Very clever supermarkets can have a smell in the air that makes us think Christmas, that we need to buy things. We're tempted by offers and deals and buy two, get one free, limited time offers. We are exposed to this and it impacts our purchasing behaviours. There are campaigns in store in supermarkets which shout out to us, buy me now, because if you don't, you're going to miss out and it's going to run out. And so this scarcity buying behaviors start to kick in because we want to stockpile, we want to get it, we want to buy it. We're not going to wait. We might be 6 weeks away from Christmas, but we absolutely have to buy it now. And so we see so much visual marketing which influences our behaviors. And sometimes we have to stop and really question what it is that we're buying. Are we being drawn into this fear of missing out, that if you don't buy it, you're going to lose out? Question these things, slow down, take some deep breaths. And it's a really good idea to write yourself out a list of what it is that you actually want to be buying, what it is, what gifts you're buying. If they're food gifts, who are they for? Write out a list, have a clear idea what it is that you're buying. If you're hosting a social get together, write down what it is that you're making, what ingredients you need, what you need to have, as opposed to getting really persuaded by all the displays, all the offers that really do work and have you buying foods and types of food that you actually didn't really intend to buy or go in to buy. We're also really influenced by social media pressure. Perhaps you're following a food account or some kind of influencer or friends that are showcasing really stunning spreads. And it doesn't need to just be food. It could be decorations. It could be anything that's drawing you into the Christmas festivities that makes you feel like what you're doing isn't enough. Your decorations isn't enough. Your table displays aren't enough. The wreath on your door isn't going to be enough. And your food spread is nowhere near enough. It's not excessive enough. It's not extravagant enough. And so what it does, it makes you feel like what you're doing isn't enough. And so you need to buy more to emulate the same level of success that these people, whoever they might be on your social media, are putting in front of you. And it's making you doubt your own requirements, doing what feels right for you and what feels right for your family and your social requirements. And remembering that more doesn't always equal better. We see adverts on TV, whether it be the John Lewis advert, the M&S food advert, which are all very aesthetically pleasing, and they're portraying the perfect family, the perfect Christmas celebrations. And it's also leading into you seeing a high standard of what a successful Christmas celebration looks like, and making, again, you think about, oh my God, what I'm doing is not enough. I'm going to keep buying more. And this is where excessive consumption, over purchasing, which leads to overconsumption, which I'm going to come on to in a minute. I mentioned the word stockpiling just a little while ago, and I want to talk about stockpiling. Because my question to you is, when you stockpile the tubs of Quality Street celebrations, the Stollen bread, the panettone, whatever it's called, whatever it is that you're stockpiling on, my question to you is, who are you stockpiling for? I'm going to ask you that question again. All what you're stockpiling on, the tubs of chocolates, the Christmas goodies that you see in that supermarket or online, who are you stockpiling for? Because I want to tell you a little story about one of my clients, and this came about last Christmas, where she shared with me that she would buy a box of M&S biscuits for every single member of her family within her household. She had 2 kids and a husband, so that's plus herself. That's 4 boxes of biscuits. Plus she would buy a box for Christmas Day for the family. So that's 5 boxes of Christmas biscuits. And she never questioned if the family members she was buying the biscuits for actually liked them and whether they would appreciate them, and whether she was buying these biscuits just because this is what she did every year, was everyone got an M&S box of biscuits. And invariably, those biscuits would be hanging around the house for weeks after Christmas because they didn't want them. And invariably, it would be my client who would end up eating all the biscuits because nobody wanted them. And she never actually questioned her reason for buying these boxes of M&S biscuits. And so it leads into my question that I asked you at the beginning of stockpiling. Who are you stockpiling for? Is it yourself? Are you stockpiling? Like, do the people that are you stockpiling on food items for other people without actually questioning whether they actually even want them or are bothered by having them weeks and weeks before Christmas? Because, like I say, we've still got 5-6 weeks before Christmas. Who are you stockpiling for? And do what you stockpile on actually make it to Christmas Day? Do you stockpile for others because it lessens your guilt when you decide to eat them? And I know these are difficult questions, but they are questions. If you have a health and a weight loss goal, these are questions to self-reflect and ask yourself. And by the way, you shouldn't be experiencing any guilt from enjoying an indulgence. And if you do, it's really worth thinking about why you're experiencing feelings of guilt. Could it be because they don't align with your goals? Could it be because you're mindlessly or emotionally eating on them and not actually enjoying them or even wanting them? Now, this is something and a whole other topic, and it is one that I support my clients with all of the time, all year round. But it becomes even harder at Christmas because of the abundance and excess of food that is inflicted upon us, that makes us believe we absolutely must have, and we must have it right now. So really challenge these thoughts and think about, before you stockpile, who it is you're stockpiling for. And are they really going to run out? Is it going to sell out? Could you just buy it a few days before Christmas and therefore reduce that temptation to go through 4 boxes of celebrations before you actually even get to Christmas? So think about that and be really honest with yourself. There's no right or wrong answer here. It's about doing what feels right for you. Now let's talk about psychological drivers that influence our shopping behaviours. You have probably heard of ways of expressing your love. Some people are very demonstrative, some people are very tactile, many different ways to show your love for somebody, a partner, children, friends, etc. And often food can be an expression of love and care. And it's not unusual to express your love and care for someone with a food gift or creating a delicious meal with an abundance of food and variety. And especially if you're a host, you want to be the hostess with the mostest, and you want to express that love and care for the people that are attending the social occasion that you are hosting. And this is fine. You don't need to change your expression of love. That's how you express love and care. But what I would ask you to think about and challenge is the notion that more is better. And instead of thinking about more being better or is more better, can you shift your focus onto what truly makes your celebrations? What makes your celebrations and get-togethers meaningful outside of just the food? And this is something you can really apply to any social occasion, night out, get together at any time of the year. What makes those occasions and celebrations more meaningful outside of food? Is it the joy of getting together with people that you love spending time with? Is it the social connection, the conversation, the fun, the enjoyment, the atmosphere, the environment, the memories that you are making Are those social occasions all those things and more important outside of just the food? Yes, food and drink plays a role in your social occasions, nights out, get-togethers. But is that the main focus or a contributory focus? But the main focus is that togetherness, the enjoyment, the social connection, the memories, being together, having fun and conversation. When you switch your focus onto recognizing what your occasions, social occasions, whatever they might be, what they bring you, and to your friends and family, what they bring you, it will also help you act in a way and host in a way and turn up at these occasions in a way that align more with your personal goals. You'll also have a lot less stress, and you'll still have everyone feeling good that you're spending time with. So really think about that as well. So as you approach the lead up to Christmas and you've listened to my podcast, which has been a very reflective podcast, I've put a lot of what I've been saying back onto you. I haven't given you any strategies. I've given you very few tips. I will be coming on to that. I will be helping you with that in the next podcasts. The word is subsequent. I think that's correct. But I want to start off this series of Christmas podcasts with you taking some ownership and more understanding and using those reflective questions to really think about what you've done in the past. Has it served you? Is it something you want to continue repeating? Could you repeat them but in a slightly different way? And just because you always did something, does it mean you always have to continue doing it if it doesn't ultimately make you feel good? Those of you who've been listening to my podcast for a while, you know that everything I do in my coaching is all about supporting women in feeling good, no matter how that looks for you at any given time. And it may look different at different times and at different occasions, and that's okay. But ultimately, whatever you do decide, however you decide to challenge your Christmas shopping behaviours or not, has to align with the way that you want to feel and align with your personal goals. And that you, in this lead up, with all the temptations and exposure that you have in this lead up to Christmas, that you become a bit more savvy and a bit more aware and more mindful in your food purchasing decisions. So in that respect, I hope this podcast has been helpful. Please listen out for my next ones. If you follow the show, you will automatically be notified when my next podcast is out. So you don't have to look out for it. It will come up if you're listening in Spotify or Apple, straight onto your regular shows. So do follow or subscribe, depending on your listening platform. If you are interested in coaching, reach out to me. Don't be waiting for January. Or if you do want to wait to January, secure your spot. I keep my coaching groups and my one-to-one coaching small, so I can give a good quality coaching service. I really get to know my clients. So do reach out. In my show notes are all my social media contacts and a coaching application form where you can get in touch with me. Have a great rest of your day and enjoy your Christmas shopping, and remember everything we've talked about.